Hey there, I'm Kristen from Social Blue Media. So a question that I get sometimes is, what kinds of ads can I run on Facebook? Well, that's a good question. So when you're on Facebook, you actually have the ability to advertise on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, as well as in Messenger, which is really pretty cool. So when you're advertising, you can do an image ad, you can do a video ad, kind of similar to like what I'm doing right now, only this isn't an ad. You can also do a story ad, which is pretty interesting because that's where, let's say for example, you're on Instagram, someone sees your story and you see something that says swipe up to continue or swipe up to get this special, then you can get them to swipe up and then they can go into whatever your sales process is, right? Now, usually when you're on Instagram, you usually have to have 10,000 followers in order to use that feature. But when you're inside of Facebook and you're building an ad to run on Instagram, if you do it as a story ad, you don't have to have the 10,000 followers because you're spending money in order to get in front of these people, so they granted that feature to you anyway. Now, when you do decide to build your ads, you want to think about a couple of things. Like you want to make sure that you have an engaging image if you decide to use an image. A lot of times I know people like to jump and just go with the stock image. Sometimes stock images are interesting, but it's so much better if they can connect with you or something that represents your brand or your product or whatever it is that you're selling, because if they can identify and or connect with it, and especially if it's an actual person who represents it, then you're more likely to get them to engage. Make sure that it's a high quality image, even if you're shooting it with your iPhone or your Android, right? Because these smartphones nowadays have really high powered cameras with them, so you can really get some awesome quality even if you don't have a major camera. Same thing goes for video. You want to make sure you've got really good lighting. You want to make sure you've got some interesting backgrounds or some angles going on so that it really makes whatever it is that you're trying to showcase and put in front of them as a presentation really look good. Remember, your idea is to stop the scroll, right? Because they're on social just hanging out. So you want to make sure that your content jumps out in front of them. I hope that's helpful. And if you've got some more questions, shoot me a DM.